It seems as if Conor McGregor just can't stay out of the press. He's resurfaced as a subject of debate in tabloids recently due to a failed attack on one of his investment properties. With connections to crime groups such as the KOGC and the Murray brothers, McGregor and his family are speculated to be targets of rival crime groups. Considering the amateur nature of the failed attempt, others have also suggested that the incident may be unrelated to the MMA fighters' high-risk friendships. In this video, we'll be going over what we know about this story so far, as well as McGregor's reactions to the matter. How long has McGregor owned the Black Forge? UFC superstar Conor McGregor is a proud Irishman from Crumlin, a suburb just south of the capital of Dublin. In 2019, he bought the €2 million Black Forge Inn located in his hometown. He's been extremely involved in the rebranding and revitalization of the quaint neighborhood pub. Before his purchase of the spot, he was a regularly seen patron of the Black Forge Inn. He still frequents the bar whenever possible, which has helped it become one of the most talked about sports bars in the country. Head chef Ed Raythorn has crafted a diverse menu that is reasonably priced while also serving up swanky, delectable dishes. The pub boasts one of the most impressive drink menus in the country as well. On Wednesday night, McGregor was at the inn taking part in a menu tasting event. Hours later, the building was reportedly attacked. Although there was no damage caused, and fortunately, nobody was hurt, homemade gasoline-based Molotov cocktails and undetonated pipe bombs were found on the scene. No stranger to gang violence. Although the Black Forge pub is still operating and as busy as ever, there's an investigation currently underway to determine the reason behind the attack. The Irish authorities are classifying the event as attempted criminal damage and are reaching out to witnesses to try to find out exactly what prompted the incident. The two devices found on scene are also being processed for fingerprints and DNA evidence. Although it is possible that McGregor was not the target, Irish tabloids have been having a field day speculating about the events that led up to this. The McGregor family are notorious for being associated with known cartel members and thugs as well, like Graham Whalen, for example, who's supposedly a member of one of the most infamous cartels in Ireland, the Kinahan organized crime group. Conor McGregor's sister, Ophi, is known to have a close friendship with Whalen and was seen visiting him in prison as recently as early January. Whalen is currently serving an 18-month sentence for money laundering, but is most widely known for a raid in the year 2000 that ultimately resulted in the deaths of over 16 men. The Kinahan Organized Crime Group, or KOCG, is believed to be led by Daniel Kinahan. Kinahan sought refuge in Dubai after a 2016 assassination attempt at a boxing weigh-in show and had been highly involved in the Dublin boxing scene until that point. Other shady associates: the late David Byrne, who was allegedly a high-ranking member of the KOCG, had been previously associated with Conor McGregor while training at the same gym in Dublin. They have even been pictured together on more than one occasion. This would mean that Whalen isn't the only connection that the McGregors have to the Kinahan group. He's also chummy with David's nephew Lee Byrne, with whom he was pictured doing various acts of tomfoolery, such as standing on the roof of a luxury car for a photo op. Outside of the KOGC, McGregor has also been seen with known gangsters, such as brothers Andrew and Jonathan Murray. They've been arrested many times for drug-related offenses. Andrew Murray was involved in an incident at the Black Forge Inn, where he knocked the man unconscious and decided to kick the defenseless man in the head while he was laying motionlessly on the ground. The Murrays were famously seen with the entourage that brought McGregor home from jail after his 2018 Brooklyn Dolly versus the Bus incident. Personal grudge or terrorism? While it may be painfully obvious to some that this incident is likely a byproduct of associating with known criminals, Garda, Ireland's national police force, can't rule out that this may have been a poor attempt at homegrown terrorism. The incident was clearly carried out by amateurs, considering that the bar was empty at the time of the attack and the pipe bombs did not successfully detonate or cause any damage. One would think that the career criminals would be a little better at their job. Judging by the evidence left behind, however, there has clearly been a significant amount of premeditation and planning. Michael Bisping, a UFC Hall of Famer, explains why he thinks the attack was more than personal. Some people threw petrol bombs. You throw that through a window. What happens? Phew. And as they tried to exit out the front door, there were 2 pipe bombs that were never detonated. That sounds like terrorism. With a reasonably priced menu and options to suit any taste, the Black Forge Inn is often filled with families and even hosts sweet 16 parties from time to time. What's with the weird flexing video? While this pipe bomb incident has left some feeling quite nervous, fighters. McGregor has not been fazed by the attack at all. The Black Forge Inn was open the next day after Garda collected the evidence and took statements from people in the neighborhood. Apparently, 2 individuals were seen in the area around the estimated time of the incident, driving around on a scooter. Authorities are currently trying to track down footage of these suspects, but as of now, this is the only lead that they have. The pub opened on schedule Thursday, and McGregor wasn't afraid to smugly show off his fully operational pub. He wished his fans a happy Thirsty Thursday in an Instagram post while also making bizarre comments that had to do with death. Even weirder, he also uploaded a video of himself flexing obnoxiously in the mirror that same day, perhaps in a triumphant moment of feeling untouchable. Who is Dana White's top 3? Although McGregor has had a slightly successful career thus far, he is far from untouchable, and certainly not the best. Dana White recently shared some of his thoughts on the subject on the David Portnoy show. When asked who his top 3 fighters of all time were, he barely had to think about it. You'd have to go Anderson Silva, GSP, Jones. Usman is getting up there too, he said. Most seasoned UFC fans would have to agree, but the addition of Usman as a 4th choice before Khabib Nurmagomedov has caused somewhat of a stir. Silva had 10 middleweight title defenses. St. Pierre is a 2-division champ, and Jones is the youngest champion in history and was recently introduced to the Hall of Fame. The retired Khabib is considered by some to be the greatest of all time, reigning undefeated in the lightweight division. His fight with Conor McGregor was the UFC's highest-grossing fight ever, which has left fans feeling like Khabib was ruthlessly snubbed. What should we look forward to at UFC 270? We are only days away from UFC 270, where heavyweight title holder Francis Ngannou will defend his title against Cyril Gane. Although Ngannou is arguably a terrifying opponent, Gane's perfect career has him favored to win according to the current betting odds. Fans everywhere are highly anticipating this fight, which is surrounded by drama. The rivalry between Ngannou and Gane goes deeper than some realize. The 2 MMA fighters are known to have come from the same camp and were also mentored by the same coach. The bad blood between them is a result of a feud between Ngannou and his former head coach Fernand Lopez, with Lopez publicly stating that he regrets his toxic relationship with Ngannou and would like to, quote, bury the hatchet. Ngannou still feels bitter and will likely deal with it in the octagon. Ngannou and Gane's striking styles are defined by raw power and technique, which will make for a highly memorable match. Gane, apparently feeling the impetus of his undefeated status, has said that he wants to face 2-time light heavyweight champion Jon Jones if he reigns supreme at UFC 270. So, who's the ultimate GOAT? Usman, who has only held the belt since 2019, is showing no signs of slowing his momentum. White had predicted after his match against Burns that he would become the greatest welterweight fighter of all time. After UFC 258, he told reporters that if you look at what he just did, he broke his record tonight for consecutive wins in the welterweight division. And if this guy keeps rolling, if Usman can keep doing what he's doing, he's going to go down as the greatest welterweight ever. Fact. The question is, where will he go in the history of the sport? The Nigerian Nightmare has also been praised by Ngannou, who spoke highly of Usman in a YouTube video. He states that he is statistically the best fighter pound for pound, and that he thinks he is definitely going to go down as the best fighter of all time. His exceptional 15-0 record has seen him surpass St. Pierre's welterweight abilities, who is still considered one of the greatest fighters ever for his domination in 2 divisions. Who are your favorite fighters of all time? Let us know if you agree with Dana White, or if your list looks a little different. Share it in the comments down below too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest UFC news coverage and updates. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.